So I'm an accidental politician. Never thought I'd be in politics. I've been a Democrat my whole life. Grew up in Kansas City. Probably started off as a Democrat because both my parents were Republicans, so that seems reason enough. But was not that active in politics other than being a regular voter. I did not participate in VAYDs or college Democrats at the University of Missouri, where I went to school. I was doing other kinds of things on campus. I went to Harvard Law School. But the beginnings of my sort of public service career happened in the middle of Harvard Law School when I decided to take a year off from school and go to work with missionaries in Honduras. I was in law school. I was one of the youngest people in my class, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And everybody around me seemed incredibly sure about what they wanted to do with their lives. Now, I learned later they were just better actors than me. They were no more sure than I was. So if you are not sure yet what you want to do with your life, don't worry about it. But I decided I could figure it out if I took a little bit of time away from law school to go work and just focus on others for a while, but then learn more about myself. So went to Honduras, worked with Jesuit missionaries there, ran a school that taught kids to be carpenters and welders. And just that was a very transformative year for me. I came back from law school with a very different set of, kind of mental map about my own future and decided I wanted to be a public servant broadly defined. Didn't know really what that was. I had a particular passion for civil rights issues because being in Honduras and just, experiencing kind of the diversity of population and the intense poverty there made me think if I come back, maybe I could use my law degree to do civil rights work to help the least of these in my faith tradition. So for 17 years in Richmond, I was a civil rights lawyer, representing people who had been denied housing opportunities either because of their race or disability. And that's what I did, and that was my passion, and I frankly thought I'd be doing that for my whole career. But I got mad at my city councilman. And that's often how this thing starts. So you are focused on political engagement and activism, and I applaud that because you're focused on it earlier than me. I mean, again, I was a voter but was not active in organizations, but when I was 34, I decided to run for the Richmond City Council. And I jumped into a race as somebody from Kansas who had moved to Richmond, and had been in Richmond for 10 years, running against a native Richmonder who was a popular incumbent for a city council seat. Representing a very diverse district. If you know Richmond, it's the mansions on Monument Avenue and the largest public housing community between Washington and Atlanta, Gilpinport. That was my district. I ran and I won my first race by 91 votes, and that was 7 races ago. I served 2 terms on city council, 2 as mayor, lieutenant governor, and governor. 16 and a half years in public life. My passion really was the same passion that I had as a civil rights lawyer, and one of the reasons I'm so proud of being Democrat. Democrats are a big tent. We got all kinds of Democrats, from the super progressives to the blue dogs and everything in between. Will Rogers had that famous statement about the Democratic Party: "I don't believe in organized political parties, that's why I'm a Democrat." That one, is that too true to be funny or too funny to be true? I mean, it's a sting to it, but it's funny that nobody has ever said anything about the Democratic Party that is quite so descriptive, even though that was 90 years ago. I still kind of see the truth in that and the wisdom, and it can be frustrating that we're the big tent demographically, regionally, ideologically, but that's also what's great about our party and what's great about our country. And that's my own passion. My civil rights passion for inclusion and diversity has made me passionate about being in elected office and serving as a Democrat. I love my opportunity to serve as lieutenant governor and governor. Got a lot of good things done. I drew a short straw as governor and was governor in the worst economy in 70 years and had to make a lot of painful decisions. I felt like as governor in some ways I was a crisis manager, whether it was dealing with the tough economy or dealing with the horrible shooting at Virginia Tech. I often felt like my best days in office were also my worst days in office. That was just the time that I served, but I also had some spectacular opportunities. And one of the opportunities I had was getting to know President Obama when he was a brand new senator. We realized that we were both Harvard Law grads, both civil rights lawyers, both spent formative time in the third world, and both of our mothers and grandmothers were from El Dorado, Kansas. And that, kind of seemed to create a bond between us, and we got to be very, very close. And it's just been an incredible honor for me to do work for him as DNC chair, to do work for him supporting his presidential election. In many ways, I've won the biggest civil rights jury verdict ever in American history. I was elected mayor, I was elected governor, but the work that I did on the Obama campaign in some ways, together with my wife and kids and my whole family, is the thing that I'm probably going to look back on and have the warmest feelings about when I'm on my deathbed. So that's kind of how I got into this. Got into it not because I was interested in politics per se, but because I was interested in serving others, and especially serving the least of these, and serving and broadening the diversity of our politics, broadening the diversity and inclusion of our Commonwealth. Those are values that really matter to them. So, and the nice thing about it, and look, I'm looking out and looking at you. Democrats are a big tent ideologically, but you could go into a Democratic Party meeting anywhere in this country, and you're going to find somebody like you. Age, race, religion, gender, sexual orientation, national origin, you're going to find somebody like you. And as I look at this group, you know, I know I'm speaking in truth about who you are as well. That's something that's so powerful and so wonderful about this party. I sometimes think that the two things that really define who we are is Democrats appreciate diversity. That's something that we love. And we also really value education. We look at education as the great lifter and the great leveler. It's the source of our economic prosperity. It's the source of individual opportunity. Jefferson said famously, and these words are still in the Virginia Constitution, paraphrased, progress of government and all else depends upon the broadest possible diffusion of knowledge among the general population. If we make the knowledge of the world available, now Jefferson wouldn't have imagined an internet and a search engine where you could download every bit of digitized information in the world. And in some ways he was talking like that. If we make knowledge and opportunity broadly diffused among the population, that's going to expand our progress in government and all else, and that's what Democrats believe in. And so it is, why are you a Democrat? I'm a Democrat because I believe in the Big Tent. I believe in the beauty of this nation's experiment in diversity, and that our party represents that. And that has made me proud to be a Democrat and proud to represent